Hello, 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 it's coffee time. And even though it is 10 to 1, it feels like it's the middle of the night. I'm expecting someone to knock at the door to collect parcel, so yay. I've not looked at the Daily Mail website this morning, so let's get in. Oh, this is a case. Bloody hell. I'm going to have to twist my tongue in order to avoid trigger words for the algorithm. This is Hugh Nelson. The 27-year-old has been convicted, right? But yeah, Nelson is described here as a budding filmmaker, wasn't he? Just he used AI to create inappropriate images of young folk, right? And during his interview, he actually admitted to having a warped mind. Here he is. I mean, he looks a bit like what he is, another rat-faced fink. And here he is during his police interview. But this is using AI to create this material. And he said he was providing a valuable service by taking commissions from relatives and family friends and youngsters, charging them £80 to turn a real image of a young person into a 3D character that was being virtually, I can't think of the words. Yeah, and they describe this as a deep fake factory. Yeah, operating from his family home near Bolton, he used AI technology to manipulate innocent photographs of real children, some of which was young as 4, into terrible, terrible things, to just the worst things ever, right? He made around £5,000 doing this, whilst giving other images out for free. Oh God, I can't even talk about the things. It's just, even if there were no algorithm searching every word I spoke, I couldn't even say some of the things that he described that he was available to do here. But anyway, passing sentence. Recorder Walsh said these harrowing and sickening images were forwarded to you by financial gain. So far, you were concerned the undercover officer was just another anonymous customer. You had no regard for concern for potential consequences of distribution of the images you created. Yeah. Oh, I can't say that quote. Basically, he created these images because his customers didn't want to, get caught for doing the bad thing that they wanted to do to the young person that they knew. So it just sounds like gibberish when I say it like that. But yeah, but the recorder said that it was impossible to know whether any children had actually been harmed as a result of his images, i.e. it fueled his customers' cravings. So yeah, he's been sent down. He's been sent down for 18 years. Yeah, this was what court was that at? Bolton Crown Court. He was sent down for 18 years plus 6 years on licence after admitting guilt to 11 offences. I guess they were sample offences. And yeah, it's absolutely shocking. And he uses something called, that's unfortunate, DAS 3D. Nothing to do with me, I'm afraid. And it allows you to, alter faces and, This is a mock-up taken from their website where it allows you to use a static image and create a 3D model from it. So it's very powerful software, and it's going to get even more powerful as the computing power, the cloud AI power gets improved. DCI Jen Tattersall of Greater Manchester's Police's online child abuse investigation team, I've just triggered the algorithm there, said it was a landmark case. She added, he is a significantly depraved individual because not only was he creating indecent photographs using software, but he was inciting offences against vulnerable children. it is just. I despair at the world. I really do. When I read this kind of stuff, and if he's described here as in the headline as the AI predator, you just. I need some funnies. I'm gonna have to find some funnies. I shouldn't have started with that one, but it was the top story, and I wanted to read it. You know, this is how we pull this together. I come on. Keir Starmer issues doom-laden warning. Tough stuff is coming this budget. Oh, great! This is Wednesday. So we're going to face a harsh fiscal reality. They reckon it's going to be a 35 billion a year raid of taxes. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm sure, won't it? Meanwhile, Keir Starmer also gives another desperate non-definition of working people. Again, he's been talking about working people a lot, but you can't say what a working person is. I mean, even if you think about it, even Lord Rees-Mogg is a working person. You know, for he goes out and he does things and gets paid for it. What is a working? Because you can't say working class anyway. You can't say because there is no working class, because if you've got a flat screen telly and central heating, you know, you're almost a millionaire, aren't you now? So the myth of the working class person, you know, especially the white working class, that's shorthand for right wing. Is kind of a myth. There is no working class people anymore, because everyone is now, by dint that we have inside toilets, central heating, double glazing, a roof overhead, we're all middle class. You know, there is no struggle there, unless you want to talk about zero contracts and the Uber delivery drivers. Those people are working class, I would say, but that doesn't fit the narrative. So yeah, he can't say what a working person is. But whatever you do, don't ask him what a working woman is, because his head will explode. It's like, oh God, I can't explain either. Keir Starmer's head. So there you go. So we go, a little bit of comedy there. So there was a Trump rally in New York, though. Tony Hinchcliffe. He's apparently a comedian. He mired the rally in racism, because he described Puerto Rico as a floating garbage island. Oh dear. You know Trump's won. You do know that. I'm calling it now. So, but is Puerto Rico that bad? I thought it was Haiti. Wasn't it Haiti's the garbage island? I can't remember. I get mixed up. But yeah, seems nice. What have they got against the Puerto Ricans all of a sudden? I thought it was the Mexicans they hated. I get confused. The Americans are confusing. They hate everybody, don't they? Good news, everybody. A Russian ship that contains 20,000 tons of explosives, and is nicknamed the floating bomb, is allowed to dock in a UK port after weeks being moored off the coast. This is the Ruby, and it could go boom. I'm sure it'll be fine. But what's really important, talking of Russian news, NATO has confirmed that Russia is moving North Korean troops into its country so it can deploy them in Ukraine. Wait a minute. That sounds awfully like a world war, doesn't it? Now, if NATO have discovered this, and this is really happening, if there are foreign troops being involved, mercenaries, then surely that means we can get involved. Yeah, we can have a real world war. Oh, it's exciting, isn't it? And it's exciting. So yeah. So if you live in Margate, going back to my boat story, yeah. It's moved from Margate. It's going. Oh, that's all right. It's going to Norfolk. It's going to Galston-on-Sea near Great Yarmouth. So that's fine. That's fine. Nobody's going to miss Great Yarmouth if it blows up. It's fine. What's that? We've lost the Norfolkers. They haven't even got internet up there. You know, somebody once sent a text on their phone. They got burnt as a witch. Right. What else have we got? I'm trying to find some good ones here. Oh, we could do that one later. I think this story needs to come a bit later in the proceedings. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's one of those historical ones. You know, I like a good historical story. Can't do that one. Here we go. We can do this one. This one's good. So I'm just reading some other appalling stories. We're going back to using AI again, but experts have used AI to determine the facial features of a typical love rat. Right? They've created a hyper-realistic photo fit of a man who's likely to... I'm saying nothing. I'm saying nothing. This is baldism. This is baldism. It is most extreme. How dare they? But apparently, yeah, AI found that bald men with large noses in their 40s were least trustworthy. Well, I've got a little nose. It's a little nose. Look at it. Look at it. It's perfectly formed, and I'm in my 50s. I always joke. You know, if the missus came home and found me in bed with a busty blonde, she'd burst in and she'd look at me and go, "You made us buy newsagents," and then storm out. That's a joke. Yeah, apparently bald men are love cheats. Okay, what about the women? I don't know. I think I could go for her. But, you know, just how I like them. Just how I like them. So, maybe there's some truth in it after all. That's the AI of a stereotypical cheating woman who's in her early 50s. Just in my... That's it. That's it, apparently. So there they go. They've created AI cheaters. Fascinating. Who did this? Who's responsible for this gibberish? Does it say? Where's it come from? It doesn't say. 2000. It says 2,000 Brits were quizzed, and the details are put into an AI image generator. And Manchester was the cheating capital of the UK, with 43% of Mancunians saying that they'd had an affair at least once before. Meanwhile, Sheffield and Cardiff followed up the rear. I bet they did. Oh, here we go. It was Mr. Q, which I don't know what that is, but Rosie Maskell, who's a senior marketing executive at Mr. Q, carried out the research, said, "Our research showed that just under half, 41%, are familiar with this painful betrayal, so it may be a lot identified with the characteristics in these images. With 39% of partners who've been wrongly calling it quits straight away, it shows loyalty is a valued quality in our partner." I don't even... What the fuck is Mr. Q when it's at home? Mr. Q. Now I've got to research it. Oh, damn. You don't want to research this gibberish. Oh, God. And it is spelt Mr. Q. How you'd think it's spelt. Mr. Q. It's an online casino. What? Okay. Meanwhile, neighbour news. Wouldn't it be nice to get on with your neighbours? Wouldn't it be? Wouldn't it just? Where are we? We're going to Stafford. Residents in Stafford are complaining about one neighbour on their street because I don't know. I can't see what the problem is. Let's have a look. Is there a nice aerial shot? I can't. Can you see what the problem with this picture is? No, there's nothing wrong with that, is there? Yeah, apparently they've just turned their property into a massive tip, and they live yards away from a primary school. That's on Peach Avenue. Yeah, shocking photos shows piles of debris, including mattresses, sofas, rubble, wood panels, fridges, carpets. And locals say the amount of filth has been left to fester for over a year. He's attracting rats. Here's a picture. Again, I don't know if they're doing work on the house. It's hard to say, isn't it? But they've made a path so you can get in and out. That's useful. So yeah, there you go. It's Angry residents accuse the local council of doing nothing. Sounds about right. And yeah, so look at that. It's, what a load of old rubbish. There you go. So if you don't get on with your neighbours, just be thankful you don't live there. Staffordshire Police spokesman said they were unable to comment as legal action is being taken. So there you go. And Stafford Borough Council said this is an unpleasant situation for those living in the area. We cannot currently, as we are currently taking legal action to get the situation resolved, we can't comment on it. So yeah, something is happening, but behind the scenes. Meanwhile, council jobs worths are at it again. It's more than my job's worth, they said. The Lord Ragland is a pub. It's situated in the picturesque town of Emsworth in Hampshire, and you know it looks quite nice. Here we go. Well, the pub owners have been told you can't have a good time anymore because the pub was well known for its live music in the beer garden. Here we go. Look at that. Looks lovely, doesn't it? Isn't that lovely? And yeah, because they've received complaints from people who live at the new 1.5 million mansion that's been next door. It looks like a bloody cowshed. What is it with architects and cowsheds, eh? Oops, wrong picture. What's that all about, eh? What's going on there? What's going on there? Yeah, so the owners said they're probably going to lose a lot of money over it. Yeah, they reckon it's going to cost them about £60,000 because customers won't come in and the music's a draw. Victor and Naomi Tewksbury, the landlord, said that they were going to appeal the decision, but it could see them losing £1,000 a year, thousands of pounds in lost income because people won't want to come to the pub if there's no live music. And yeah. And here is a sign saying that a band has been cancelled. Boo! Boo hiss. Could do court news. Here we go. This is the story of Michael Morphy. He's described here as a super fit pensioner, and he's an 81-year-old park run legend. Well, he's locked in a court case, an inheritance court case, with his stepchildren. Yeah, when his second wife, Karen Morphy, died in 2021, she left him nothing in her will, despite the couple being together for 18 years. Retired teacher Karen, who had dementia, gave her £600,000 house in Streatham in South London to her two children, Alexander and Emma Davis, in equal shares, granting her husband only the right to stay there for a year after her death. Now the widower, who's completed over 300 park runs and who's dubbed Marvellous Mike, has gone to court claiming the will ignored his needs and is suing for £300,000 half share of the house plus £25,000 to cover maintenance costs of the home. And again, the children are fighting back. Yeah, he's now branded a trespasser in the home and have accused him of transferring £144,000 of cash and investments into his name before she died, and trying to draw up a will that favoured him behind the back of them all. So yeah, and here he is. Here is the park runner who's going to be evicted, and here is one of the stepchildren, Alex Davis, who's fighting him. Again, he has a legal claim, and here's the sister, Emma Davis. They have a legal claim because the will says, out you go. She said, you get a year and then you're out. But he said the stepchildren took little interest in their mother in her final years, insisted he cared for Karen diligently during her illness. Wrong teeth. Yeah, so we'll have to cover that, see what's going to happen. Oh, yeah, nice house. So you wouldn't believe it was 600 grand, would you? That doesn't look like a 600 grand house. Where's that then? Oh, it's in Streatham, isn't it? St Wreatham's, as the posh people call it. But the stepchildren have rebutted his claim, saying he already has, his own property. He has a £550,000 renting out property himself in the area, and is pretty robust. In his health, he doesn't need to be cared for. So yeah, he's got his own property. So it's not like they're leaving him homeless, and that's probably why his wife, did that. So there you go. Keep an eye on that. See how it's going to go. I don't think I can't see him winning that one. Today, again, it's an unfortunate story, but this has to come from the world of stupid, because I didn't know such a thing existed, and two, you've got to ask yourself, why would you have it done? This is the story of Matthieu Latour. He's a Frenchman, and he went to Turkey to have some hair transplant done. What, on his head? No, here he is. Right. He was having a beard transplant where they take hair off your head and transplant it onto your face. And here he is after the operation. Now, he looks like Desperate Dan. The previous picture, he obviously had a beard. Look, he's got a beard, but it's just one of those ones that doesn't go all around his face. He's got, he has a very French beard there, doesn't he? And he wasn't happy with that. And here he is afterwards. And the beard grew out at funny angles. And he said he looked like a hedgehog. And it turns out that the surgeon wasn't a surgeon, right? This is the kicker. The surgeon was an estate agent posing as a surgeon, and the surgery cost him €1,300, and that was a fifth of the price of him having it done in his native home of France. The 24-year-old also suffered burns after the procedure and was having trouble sleeping due to his discomfort. And this is where it gets really worse. Mr. Latour fell into a vicious cycle, and they reckon he suffered from a dysmorphic disorder. And a Belgian specialist who was attempting to never trust the Belgians. Was attempting to correct the procedure. Said his scalp would never recover where taken hair out. So he had a lump. And he ended up checking out over it. And now Mr. Latour's father is now campaigning to improve awareness about the risks of seemingly inexpensive health tourism. We read it a lot. Women having, was it bottom lifts and that, and it going wrong and them dying. But yeah, I didn't know there was such thing as a beard transplant. Just a sad, stupid story. I mean, it's a real shame that he was suffering like that. But if he wanted to be a Desperate Dan lookalike, he could have done it. He wasn't thinking. There's always a silver lining. Meanwhile, let's go to Craig Cullingworth. The 40-year-old was told that he wasn't clever enough to be a pilot. Yeah. And he said, I'll show them. And how did he do that? Well, I'm waiting for the video to show. I was stalling then, but we've got a 30-second ad to get through. Yeah, but so he had dreams of being a pilot, obviously. And even though they said he wasn't smart enough, he went, you know what? I will go to the ball. And we're going to find out once this advert clears off. Only another 7 seconds to go. God, it doesn't feel like 5, 4, 3. Quit fit. Go to quit fit. 1. Here we go. This is how he got over it. What he did is he built a £25,000 flight simulator in his home. How cool is that? That's one way of getting around it. That is amazing. That is just the best thing ever. Again, a man has to have a hobby, and that is the again. If your husband, ladies, isn't in the shed tinkering, if he isn't building things or collecting things or reading things or writing things or playing guitars or collecting guitars, if he isn't gardening, if there's nothing fruitful coming from his downtime, if he spends a lot of time on his computer furtively, divorce him, because he's a wrong un. This is what your husband should be doing. If he isn't under a car getting his hands dirty with oil and grease, if he isn't building a new brick wall, if he isn't creating a flight simulator, then he's a wrong un, and get rid of him immediately, because every man should have a hobby. What a great fella. And he's obviously there with his daughter, having a great time. Fantastic. Yeah, 2 years. He revisited his childhood dream by building an accurate model of a Boeing 737-800 NG cockpit, with most of the parts sourced second-hand online. And using computer software, he flies. He flies. And this started when his wife, Sarah, got him a flight simulator experience at a flight centre as a Christmas present. And he went, "Oh, I'm having this." So, that was, I think this is where he went. That's what it looks like. Got any more pictures? I mean, you've got to admit, that's pretty good, isn't it? I'm impressed. I like that. So yeah, he built it in his home. It's just, that's really clever. I just think that's the greatest thing ever. And here he is with his daughter Sophie. There you go. What a great picture. So there you go. He will fly. He will fly again. There you go, sir. I think that's good, that. That's a good one. Oh, meanwhile, we've got the story of Mike Amesbury. Mike Amesbury is a politician. He's a Labour politician. He's going to be an ex-Labour politician. I don't know if I can show you the video, because it's him sucker punching a... No, I can't. They're going to tell me off. YouTube are going to tell me off because it's violence. I might be able to show you I can show you a still image. Well, anyway, the footage, the original footage dropped on Saturday, and it showed him screaming at somebody laying on the floor, saying, "You'll never threaten an MP again." Well, they released the CCTV footage on Sunday, and you can see him sucker punch this fellow. He's standing there with his hands by his side. This is at 2:15 in the morning. He's out and about. Obviously, he's had a few sherbets to drink. He's so he punches him, and this is at 2:15 on Saturday morning, and in his Cheshire constituency, and he punches the guy to the floor and carries on. Now, this is one-punch deaths are a thing, and he could have seriously hurt his constituent. And he's been suspended by the Labour Party, and he's been, well, obviously the police are involved, and there should be a by-election immediately with immediate effect. But I wonder if they're going to drag their heels over it. There is no defence of what he did. It's not like when Prescott got hit by that egg and he reacted, in split-second timing. It was a pure reaction. It's not the same. Meanwhile, go to Russia, and this is Chechen warlord Ramzan Kadyrov at the BRICS meeting. wasn't Keir Starmer at the BRICS meeting or something? But yeah, this is he's described here as one of Putin's cronies. And when no one's looking, like everyone's having a chat, he starts doing standing press-ups. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. Quite bizarre there. Quite bonkers behaviour there. You got to get your press-ups in, haven't you? Quite bonkers. Well, so I'm still looking at this. There's still no animal stories. They used to love animal stories. Meanwhile, in our upside down, inside out, topsy turvy world, this is the story from our prison services. A female prisoner was sent to a high security prison in HMP Perth overnight on October the 21st because she was sent to an all male prison and forced to stay there tonight because she had masculine features. Yeah, we got it going the other way now. She didn't ask to be put there. She was sent there because she looked a bit butch. Yeah, but the next day she was transferred to Cornton Vale, the only women's jail in Scotland. This has prompted a review of procedures by Police Scotland and Scottish Prison Services because they just don't know what a woman is. They just can't tell anymore. They just don't know. None of them, especially in Scotland. Yeah, the woman was remanded after appearing at Kirkcaldy Sheriff Court, where she was processed as a man. After which the court escrow took her to HMP Perth. Yeah, and this comes after all the transgender jibber jabber that's been going on after the Isla Bryson's case, where Adam Graham was sent to a woman's prison because he put on a wig and and so yeah, it's really hard these days to know what a woman is, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, good news, everybody. Breaking news. Tommy Robinson jailed for 18 months. Yes. And that is the doorbell. Told you. Whoops. That was that dealt with. Yeah, good old Tommy Robinson. He's been sent to prison. Oh, that's good. I'm so pleased about that. Because it's contempt of court. Because he made a movie which, oh god, he slandered a schoolboy, a Syrian refugee. Got found guilty for that, and then made a film about it, saying I'm innocent because he is all these things that I was found guilty of slander for, and then so he contempted himself, and then he showed the film to everyone, and then put it on the internet, and then they arrested him recently, and here he is looking. That doesn't even look like him, does it? But there you go. Good news, everybody. It's a case of fuck around and find out. He fucked around and he's found out. I now said that word, and oh god, the algorithm. So yeah, if you're a Tommy Robinson fan, or any fan of these, any left or right, when they start asking for money, you know it's a grift. He didn't expose the grooming gangs. There was a journalist that did it way before him. When he started, he's a BNP member who is, anti everything. But then he changed. He switched it. It's he found that was a thing that people hooked onto, the grooming gangs, and he changed his strategy, right? So, dangerous person, grifter of the highest order, grift. Look, here he is. He's saying, send the money to my PayPal account. And if you want to help me out, you can send money to the usual address. There's Patreon, there's PayPal. You can check out my music. Remember, when they start asking for money, they're grifting. Unless they're trying to sell you really badly recorded music, then they're an artist. I thank you. And it's refreshed the page, and why does it do that? Oh, the first reviews of the new Wallace and Grommet film have come in. It's all right, folks. It's a good one. Feathers McGraw is back. I'm excited for Christmas. I'm so excited. So there you go. It's going to be a good one, though. It's a shame, they didn't. The AI generate Peter Sallis. Should have recorded his voice. Boom, boom, boom. I'm still. Oh yeah, we're doing Bogan news. That's for the Australian viewers. Everyone knows what a Bogan is. It's like a chav in the UK. This is the story of David McCulloch, and this is just the greatest. This is the greatest story. Right, this is the greatest story. Here he is with his wife, right? Right, and they've been him and his missus have been together for 25 years, and they've been married 6 years. They obviously wanted to test the waters before they get married, but this is a good one, right? March 28th, right? McCulloch tried to phone his wife, Jacinta King, but she didn't answer her phone. So, the couple had met when they were teenagers, been together 25 years, got 4 adult children together, and they share a home with his mother, Sue McCulloch, right? So remember that, Sue McCulloch, right? So on the evening of the incident, I'm describing the story here, this is what we got in trouble for. Mrs. McCulloch, his mum, driven his wife, so mother-in-law takes the wife for a drive, took him to the older son, Jamie McCulloch, right? So they picked him up, drove to a block of units, and stopped at a nearby car park, right? So McCulloch's trying to get through. There's a lot of McCullochs in this. Never mind the McCullochs. He tries to reach his wife, and then found them. He drove around and found them at the car park. So he approaches the car and finds his wife doing the horizontal pogo with his brother, right? Whilst his mum is sitting in the front, just kind of, I don't know, smoking a cigarette, I don't know. Imagine that. You turn up, your mum's sitting in the front, you look in the back at your brother, and he's poking your missus. He loses his shit, man. He loses his shit. So he opened the rear car door, started punching his brother, and then got a shovel and started smashing. Yeah, he beat his brother around his head with a shovel, right? And this is the brother. I think you'd admit he's quite a catch. Yeah, he's quite a catch. He's not bald with a big nose. See? This proves the story I was telling you about. Whereas the guy who's oh wait a minute, here's a picture of the mother here. She must have had 2 dogs with her. There's the mother-in-law who parked up. So anyway, yeah, he got in. He was sentenced. He was sentenced to 3 years behind bars after pleading guilty to a string of assault charges at Burnie Supreme Court in northern Tasmania. I say, free David McCulloch. Mitigating circumstances. Mum in the front, brother in the back, missus underneath the brother. My goodness. Like I say, that was a... Meanwhile, a third Scottish council is allowing pupils to identify as animals if they suffer from species dysphoria. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, this is yeah, they've not named the authority in question, but yeah. But Dumbarton-based clinical neuropsychologist Dr. Tommy Mackay said vulnerable children with additional support needs will probably be more prone to falling for these fantasies and therefore more likely to be made a laughing stock. And here is one of the kids at the school. He's saying, "I'm really a wolf. I don't write any of this. I make it all up as I go along. Keeps me off the streets." It surely does. And there are no animal stories. I could just end it there because it's kind of an animal story, isn't it? Oh, here we go. Right, okay. Right, can you find the orange in this spectacular Halloween-themed picture? Yeah, it's right there. It's right there. I did it in less than 15 seconds. I did it in a second. There's the fucking orange. There you go. Saved everyone the trouble there. Oh, fuck me, that's difficult. And let's end with this. This is Henry Turkington from Manchester. He was born with one ear, and here he is getting an hearing aid and hearing for the first time. Look at the joy in his little face. And we'll end with that. We'll end with some joy in the world. It's not all mental. Sometimes there's some good. And what a lovely picture that is. Let's end it there. And we'll see if there's anybody in the chat. Let's see. 12 people in. Crikey, that was popular. Everyone's having a party. Runs in. He says, "Hi there. Happy Monday. Indeed, we're back again in the murk." It's almost like it's bloody midnight, isn't it? So yeah, thank you, Clive. Andrew's in. He says, "I'm an artist. We're all artists. We're all artists up here, mate." Payne says, "Do cool artists need to be bad at drawing, or does it come with practice?" You know, it's kind of fun. It's like, you know, in the old days, you know, do you remember the news and they print up the cool artists? And they did actually used to look like the people. Now it's like an artist's impression. It's like we think he might look like this, you know. Andrew says, yeah, it does help. And Missing's in. He says, "Star from the US. What is a bogan?" It's a chav. Redneck is probably best described in America. It's someone who's a bit rough and ready. Payne says, it's an Australian trailer trash. There we go. Trailer trash. That's another one. No, there's no dog cam. She's outside. And Missing says thank you. So there we go. Hopefully you've enjoyed the stories. That was the news for today. We covered everything. I feel that way. I don't think we're going to top that. I think we've got everything. We've got everything there. And remember, if you do slander someone, don't make a film about it, saying that everything I said was true, and show it to lots of people, because you will be committing contempt of court and you will go to prison for it, because that's how it works. Ay. But yeah, we live in strange times. Trust nobody, especially me. All right, thank you for watching. There's only one more thing left to say, and you should know what that is, and that is killing the channel. That was the news. Killing the channel, one video at a time. You know you've got to drink it up. Ta-ta.